Yo, what's good? You dealt back here again in 2019. Let's get it with another Deathmatch. This time coming in from the left corner. The legendary King, Emperor, Dawn of Street Fighting. The one who rules the night streets to the point where he became an urban legend. One who rose from nothing to a mythical proportion. The one who gangsters feared. The gang hunter, the thug hunter, none other than the fighting genius known as Kamishiro Yu. And in the right corner, a man who really needs no introduction in Japanese boxing. A true Japanese boxing legend in the featherweight division. The one with many championship defenses with a record of like 24-3, something like that, somewhere around 23-3, something like that. The one who's lost to only some significant fighters, the God of Wind, who's got power in both fists, none other than Makunouchi Ippo. Let's get it. Now, y'all know how I get down with my death matches. If you don't, and it's your first time, or enjoy. We have three main categories because here we actually do in-depth analysis. Unlike some other people out there when they haphazardly choose their winners. There is the attack category, the defense category, and the strategy category. And under each of the categories, there are a few different subcategories. Beginning, as we always do, with the attack category, we have strength, which is physical strength, speed, which is combat speed. Do not confuse that with transit travel speed. They are not the same thing, ladies and gentlemen. Combat speed, the speed at which you actually fight at. Some people have faster combat speed than they do travel speed. Most Dragon Ball characters. Some people's travel speed are exactly the same as a combat speed. Someone like Toph. Or some people's travel speed is not as fast as their combat speed. Superman Kal-El. Then we have techniques, which are self-explanatory, as well as destructive capacity / power. How much stuff you can blow up, break, depending on the situation of the matter. All right, beginning with strength. Now, Kamishiro Yu, if you know Holy Land, he didn't really train physically. It wasn't necessary. His was pure striking and grappling and pure martial arts. Now, I'm not saying the martial arts and lifting strength has no pace, but he didn't focus on that. It wasn't his objective. This one's an easy one for Makunouchi Ippo because we've seen him put in the work. We've seen him put in a lot of work, especially if you're a fan of the manga. So this one I don't think is controversial at all. Kamishiro you does not take the take the W in the strength category. Coming in the speed, combat speed. This one is very interesting because neither fighter relies too heavily on speed. Um, but I would have to give the edge to you, and here's why. When it comes to Ippo, depending on the type of fighter he's facing, he will be very methodical. He will dash in, he will rush in, he will look to get inside as an infighter and as his specific fighting style manifests. But you, on the other hand, is a guy, because he's not the strongest guy, he does rely on speed, whether it be his punches, his kicks, his grabs. Okay? So you would definitely have a step on Ippo. Ippo isn't slow, but Ippo doesn't have to fight fast because he's more of a strength power boxer. Okay. So the obvious win goes to you. Now, when it comes to techniques, this is very fascinating. Ippo, he has things like the Dempsey roll. He has the liver blow. He has rolls, but he's relatively rudimentary when it comes to boxing. When it comes to you has street boxing, and it will tie into more with his fighting style. But he has street boxing techniques, mainly relies on the 1-2, but he also has wrestling techniques. He did figure out some, like he learned from judo, but he has certain wrestling techniques that he relies on, and he also has uh, karate, but really kickboxing techniques that he relies on. So karate, kickboxing. Like he kind of morphs both of those, so he definitely has a wider toolbox, if you will, array of techniques than Ippo does. So I got to give the edge to you. And when it comes to power, you is no joke, but it's obviously the god of win here. It's obviously Ippo. Ippo puts many a man down. Every single win he has is by KO. Every single loss is by KO too. But every there is no ifs, ands, or buts. You are going down when you fight Ippo. Ippo has not even come close to fighting the distance. He's not come close to 10 rounds. He's like, I think it's the longest I think he's fought is 8 rounds. 7, I'm certain. 8 maybe. So that's Ippo right there. He's definitely got the power. Okay. So overall, I think they're pretty even when it comes to attack, which shouldn't shock anybody with how these fighters are. I mean, some may have advantages in one category or another pretty handily, but they're pretty similar in close and attack power, which makes this very interesting. Now we have the defensive category. Under defense, we have reaction time, durability, stamina, and agility. When it comes to reaction time, Ippo is good. Ippo's good. I gotta go with you though. Ippo is good, but he relies heavily with his peekaboo style and his stiff guard. Okay, and he does take a lot of damage by quick jabs and stuff, which you can definitely bring to that table. You got that speed, you got that hand speed, and you got that foot speed. All right, as well as the grab. I mean, come on, he was able to defeat. I believe it was Taka. I believe homeboy's name was a kendo master. I wouldn't say a high level master, but he was a kendo master. He defeated a kendo master. He defeated King, who is a kung fu. Like he defeated guys who are fast as hell and who pretty much hit faster than what Ippo brings to the table. Ippo tends to go for more, you know, now his compact shots are fast, but they're not super fast. He's not Miyata. If this was Miyata Ichiryu, Ichiryu, or even the flicker jab from Bushiba Ryo, uh, Shindo Takeshi can be, fast. Shindo Takeshi's reaction time is better than Ippo. So, it depending on the matchup, but with this specific matchup, you has showcased better reaction time feats. Now, when it comes to durability, this is a hard one. I want to say on par. Now, people are like, but Ippo's taking damage. Ippo's also, again, he's never survived to the 10th or 12th round. He's not. Okay? He can take a lot of damage, and I want to say Ippo, but you has fought some dudes who can deliver some damage too now. So it's not like you is a scrub, right? And Yu's, I'm not sure about Yu's weight, especially by the end of the series when he's grown. And you could argue that he's on par with, if not greater than, Masaki Izawa. And we know that Mizaki Izawa was fighting for a world title, which Ippo has not got to the level. So just saying, if someone's on the level of world champion, just saying, it doesn't guarantee that a world champion inherently has greater durability. But you gotta kind of keep that in mind that Mizaki, Misaki, he was on par, if not lesser than you. Just saying, like, so keep that in mind. For those who don't know, chapter 182, final chapter, Holy Land. Validate, fact check me on that one. As far as the stamina goes, this is rough. Ippo has a lot. You has a lot. And this one, again, I'm just gonna go up to. I'm going to just gonna say on par because this is where you're starting to split hairs with these two gentlemen because it's kind of hard to really tell by the way that each of them fight. They don't look to rely on their stamina game too much. They're looking to end the fight, and that's just the bottom line. They're not looking to take this by the distance. So this is a fight I don't think is gonna go forever and ever. If it does, it would come to a matter of styles, which we can get into later. But as far as the stamina, it's too much of a wash for me to go anything other than par. And when it comes to agility, you. Ippo is not the most agile. He doesn't need to be, nor does his fight style require it. So defense category, you has the edge because of his elusive nature. Now, when it comes to strategy, there are three categories, subcategories. There are location, fighting style, fighting IQ. When it comes to location, I say Yu has a greater range because he fights outdoors. He fights outdoors. Ippo, it's not just because he fights in the ring, but you look at you and it kind of ties into. I'll get to his fighting style, but you look at it. He can use the street. He's a street fighter. That is what he's made himself to be, and he can use the environment more effectively than Ippo. Ippo's style is not the best outside of the ring. I mean, it's effective, but it's not the best outside of the ring. So he's pretty limited when it comes to where they if they were to fight. When it comes to fighting styles, Ippo has the peekaboo style, the Dempsey roll style. Like he kind of invented it, but it's this figure eight infinity sign kind of thing. He has some basic boxing like with the jab and such. He can do more of it. He's an infighter, but he has a specific way of how he gets inside as an infighter. Okay, he's not like a Julio Cesar Chavez as an infighter, for example. He's not a classic infighter. If you want more of a classic infighter, Alexander Vorg Zangief and Ippo. Okay. Now, when it comes to he comes street boxing, wrestling, and say kickboxing slash karate. Because it's kind of weird. He learned some karate, but it's kind of more kickboxing with it than karate. So he's a mixed bag. When it comes to fighting IQ, Yu is a fighting genius, bona fide. He can see one technique and literally, I'll show it to you one. He's picked up things in one time. Ippo has a good. He's a solid to good um, fighting IQ. He's not stupid. He can figure things out, but it takes him a while, and he does rely on a lot on Coach Kamagawa. Okay, on his trainer and others to come up with plays. Again, he's come up with stuff on his own, but he's not the smartest. His is hard work, hard work. He's on a Rock Lee hard work, develop it before. We've seen this dude come up with stuff on the fly. We've seen you is practically self taught when it comes to the martial arts, and he became a legend that way. So overall, who do I see winning? I'm a fan of both characters. Love me some Makunouchi Ippo. Kamishiro used that dude for real. But if you really look at it, y'all know who the winner is. It's you. I give you a 60-40. A good 60-40. It's not a I mean, Ippo can definitely win. He's got the power to. But if you look at the tools in the tool shed, Kamishiro you the fight G. Like he would be able to pick apart and expose him. I mean, when you consider the fact that Ippo almost lost to Wally. Okay? Almost if Wally would have had more experience, which Kamishiro you has a boatload of experience. Okay. Kamishiro is nasty with it, with the experience. Again, he's on the level of a world champion without even having stepped into the pro ring. And again, I can validate that because Masaki is fighting in a world championship fight as we speak at the final chapter of the series of Holy Land. And so Masaki could possibly lose to you. I have to put you on a level, and we know Ippo ain't quite there yet. Even in the manga, he's not at world champion level. In fact, I say out of the who I consider the headhunter generation, he's the fifth. Even though he's got wins over Mashiba and Sendo, I have Sendo Takeshi and Mashiba Ryu winning. Okay, over Ippo, like as far as in levels of skill, especially at this point in time. So there you go. And when you look at it, the fighting styles, the techniques, the speed, the elusiveness, Ippo will get peppered and eventually put down if you doesn't hit him in something he's not used to. With the kick game, we see how effective he is by the time, after his fights with the kickboxer, by the time he was fighting King, this dude looking like a straight up pro fighter. And we know that Ippo at times can get a bit rattled. He will come out and bounce back. But plus, when he's not comfortable in the ring, it's just not looking good for you, man. So, unexpected one. Like, comment, subscribe. Tell me your thoughts, because I know this is controversial, but y'all know I'm fair. Y'all know I am fair. And this is the conclusion I've drawn, man. Any other fights y'all want me to do? I know I got one request that I have to get to. Another one dealing with Yujiro that a commenter had said, and I'm stoked for that one because that one is a beastly one. All right, y'all. Have a beautiful day, beautiful night. Peace.